ground. If those doctors are really operating in statistics, we can know how many people are infected in a day. The total guarantee of already what the water in Gira, Kakati, what can we do? Allow transport to operate in the 3 days, but to allow Bantu trap to Michibuga Vagende. Starting with the midnight. Your price here, Chinto. Because there must be these people who work on foot, cursing the government, could have been transported if a given city. You can even have police vehicles. You can even have armed lorries. This is what about the trap to Michibuga, but as well as Kuriamu. Neyemu 7 years bye kwabo simanyi badokita kakati uli ya wana nyomu anje kakati aina musenero. This is how to have touch with the population.
They are disconnected from reality.
Yes.
And one site babimanyi.
Kubanga nze nzikiza nti obulwadde webuli.
Ekituufu.
Era naba warning. But what I'm seeing, nti we are mishandling the disease. The disease is there, but we are in the process of preventing it. We are mishandling the disease. Abantu abali trapped mu kibuga kubanga if those bayina bagundi be, and we must have a counter to these doctors. Let us have a counter.
Tutia.
Yes. Muhwezi yagenda natulyanga gundi kiza besije bamutwala mu court maso nga wa president amagezi yali omugenzi mayombo. So the Kwingiri group got a lawyer in the name of Muhwezi. To give to balance. But Musenero yaliakoze yo dagalachi. What do we have about Musenero? About Ugundi or Uganda? So we must have parliament ni sirika. Buli muntu yene bana dini ne basirika. But us, ekizibu cha Uganda chetu yina is an orderly succession, which Museveni can give us.
Yes, kidane yo.
Naye agenda na akwata bo bamuzanya. Nti fomi na wandika akatabo kano COVID mafias nemba bulira nemba gamba nti you've mishandled the COVID bagamba kati babona akubira ki nabagamba in many cases mafias conducted themselves more like baby monkeys. Mafias look at challenges to the country in terms of monetary benefits and forget the dangers that may arise from calamities. Take the example of HIV/AIDS, which hit Uganda in the 70s and 80s. Instead of considering the dangers HIV posed to the communities in Uganda, the mafias exploited the plight of the victims for monetary gains. Many bogus organizations purporting to be helping victims were put up, but the funds ended up in the pockets of the mafia. The funds that were allocated to the Uganda AIDS Commission were not spared either. Government drugs intended to save lives of Ugandans suffering from the disease were stolen and sold to neighboring countries by the mafia. Furthermore, Uganda hosted an international conference on refugees where almost $1 billion was raised, but not spared by the corrupt mafia in Museveni's government. The numbers of refugees were inflated and the money was stolen. In the recent invasion of locusts in East Africa, and despite the destruction and threat the locusts passed to the countries, the mafia looked at the invasion as an opportunity to steal money. Unlike mafia gangs, groups operating in other countries, the Ugandan mafia has several unique features that include the following. The mafias have a strong foothold in the government. The mafias have control over the media, especially print media. This gives them an edge over their victims. Kakati nenkugandi nti gundi bwe yajja ani COVID coronavirus
ekirwadde bwe kyajja,
if the virus mbagamba nti finally nti president yalagira baggalewo, president n'abagamba bakebera abantu ku kisaawe babalyangako ssente. In one incident abazungu baddayo Entebbe ku immigration timutuwe passport zaffe nga bana babatutte mugundi ne bateekawo hoteli ezaabwe. In one incident, one hotel man was paid 5 billion nga tewali asuzeemu. Trading in a very dangerous gundi. Nawulidde president yabadde abagamba nti okutulira kya Luganda. Okutulira kitegeeza obulwadde nga bw'okwata ku muntu abuyina bw'okukwata. Yes, babadde bakiina nti okusiiga nodde okutulira kya Lunyankole naffe tukiyina nti obwo obulwadde butulira. Singa oyina akafuba kyobula nti nsobola kuŋŋamba nti omwana wange omubegere nti jjajja wa mubegere emmere. Omuntu adisa omukazi jjajja wa yinza okubanga yalwala akafuba kakati n'akoleza omwana emmere naye n'alwala akafuba kwe kutulira. Okutulira kitegeeza transferred wound disease. Ani nkugamba nti bano bo balowooza nti ne covid nzige. Olwaleero tuyina ennyonyi ya millions of dollars 3. Olwaleero tutaddeyo ennyonyi mu bbanga. Enzige we are defeated by General Kavuma and UPDF using a bomber. What is outstanding in Uganda about Enzige? Ugandan is called those Enzige buildings bazimanyi. Kaka negamba
ebizimbe by'enzige.
Yes, babimanyi.
Gwe kyogamba calamity bo bamafia bagirabanga opportunity.
Yes, bo bakikolamu. Naye covid kaloolo kayinza okujja enkoko ku magi. Covid tafaanana bino. Nze I've looked at the president when he was talking. I was telling my children nembaga nti president oyo always ayise eggwanga muki mu bizibu. Waliwo akatabo kange nawandika nti again at crossroads. Nembaga nti Museveni ajja tuyisa mu buzibu. But Museveni yasiba Katonga to pressurize the Okello government nga bali mu peace talks. Nasiba Katonga. Waliwo n'omusajja nga amuyita Kazinja naga nti bane tukunganya abantu millions 3 tugende nga tuyima ntugula Katonga. Museveni closed Katonga and I write about Katonga in this book. Kana katabo kange nakugamba North South Korea scenario. The fears discussed in the 1983 meeting were later reached by General Tito Okello Lutwa in 1985. After the failed Nairobi peace talks had a time off to brief leaders in inverted commas in Kampala International Conference Center, he explained that he had refused to append his signature on the peace accord for fear of dividing the country along the lines of North and South Korea. The rebels' political wing NRM had established an interim government headed by Haji Moses Chigongo at Masaka to govern over the liberation area. Kakati nkugamba Museveni yaggala Katonga. But immediately nga amaze okuggala Katonga solved the people's concerns. One, he established peace in that area. Two, abasirikale abaali balemedde ndoza Masaka baali baduumirwa General kati General Okello yagendako ne Somalia yabasalawundinga yabeetooloola n'abalekamu. Ekyokusatu n'alonda Sendawula nga minister ne badire mmwanyi ne basitwala e Rwanda ne bagula essential commodities. Era Sendawula ekyamuleetera obuzibu yagula toilet papers nga bayekera abaali bamanyidde ebikogoma baga toilet paper is not an essential item. Sendawula ne bamutuma minister of toilet papers. Yes, era Salimu Sale yalaga ab'e Masaka nti Kabaka wa Mawuya akomyewo ng'alaga Ssaabasajja Kabaka Mutebi. They had cut off, but after cutting off Masaka area, they provided essential services to the population cut off.
Ekitegeeza intervention eyakolebwa yawa justification eyakiri ekyokuggala.
And the two people had hope to the liberation nga bawulira nti kati batuuse eruka ya kati batuuseewa. N'ab'e Kampala nga nabo balina hope nti bajja. Teyina basuma. Museveni did not have basuma at that time. If Museveni had basuma balibye sente abantu ne beekalakaasa because they had cut off the supply lines from Kampala. If he did not provide the government services to the people he had cut off baliedimye. Yes, one, he provided the services to those people he had cut off, and two, they had the hope that this was a temporary sacrifice because the war was progressing.
Kakati kyawukana ate kwene eriwe
wankubuli ekyokubiri Museveni mu 1983 ne bamutwa Obote nabaga nti waliwo omusajja ate akyaliwo omusajja bamuyita Seguya ayina Medifarm mutani wampeereza messages naye nga Seguya yafa Seguya gyali kati Seguya yatabuka n'ab'omu nsiko najja n'ava mu nsiko najja n'alipooti Obote n'amukwata ne bamutwala Obote tego abadde w'amaanyi omuyekera oyo omusajja waliwo omukuba jeno besigenda kuwokera yagenda ewuwe abasajja b'Obote bagenda ewe bamukwate Medifarm yali waggulu awo Medifarm wano nga wali cooperative bank musajja mutabufizi wa ddagala chemistry omuyitirivu nnyo teyatta abasajja b'Obote abajja omukwata nti muyekera yabatabulira Seguya chemist wa maanyi nnyo
yabatabulira kunywa biki
bakwata ku nzigi bafuluma n'abateeka mu kutiya n'abafulumya I have not seen Seguya naye mutabani wange ampeereza ali bweru Seguya aligindi awo ye alabika gyali yayina Medifarm president yagendayo ogulawo factory ya Seguya yuhiya Seguya musajja ali chemist wa maanyi nnyo kati bwadduka mu nsiko Obote ne bamutwale Obote n'amubuuza Obote where do you get guns Seguya n'amugamba nti from your into that man ngasonga Moito Joko we get guns from that man Oito Joko najja upesa mukube no Obote n'amugaana n'amugamba nti amajeego manafu abayekerawo kubesa sirimu abagonne badduka Obote kwe kuyita aba North Korea n'ayita n'Abangereza n'abayita n'Abatanzania ne bamutrainingira a special force under Lieutenant Colonel Ogole to flush out Museveni from Luweero once and for all. Mwalimu n'omusajja akyaliwo bamuyita Kiyengo Major Kiyengo yamukuba omundu mulungi nnyo naye bano tebamukkiriza kubayingiramu yabatta nnyo omulala gwe batya mumanyi
yaliwo Obote
yaliwo Obote Major Kiyengo ajali ewaabwe Gomba omulala yabatta nnyo mumanyi yenna nnyo gundi ye bamutta Namiti yatta Katabalwa bamanyi nali nabo kakati Museveni bwe bamuzingako mu Luweero what did he do? Yakola decision as he has done now yagamba nti ba civilians bonna bagende batudina musinge nti olutalo lutulemye tetuyina mmere tetuyina baserikale bana abakuuma ati high risk era lwakasiisi waliwo be yaleeta ku Constitution Square awo n'agamba nti mwe tetuyinza nakubeebaza nti muvudde mu nsiko bwe busibuka ng'amanda gundi n'agaa lwakasiisi nzogoba Museveni mu Luweero ngenda kuzimbayo golofa Museveni oluwulira nti lwakasiisi ali wanadduka buddusi bangi babatta but Museveni took a decision nti we cannot defend this large population as we are tackling Ogole's forces. The people agreed ne come up with all the risks involved. Museveni kolinajja Museveni n'akwata abantu n'abajja mu mayumba gaabwe n'abatwala mu campus where they could be protected. People had hope, they were no basuma and that they knew this was era baavaayo mu campus zaabwe in northern Uganda. Kakati problem ya Museveni gyayina today ayina abasuma
ayina ababbi bangi atasobola bakwatako ate bayina media yinga lwaki tasobola
andi nkubuulya negamba nti the first strike of COVID Museveni put all of the infrastructures in Uganda a national task force headed by Kalolo and people willingly donated. Museveni not looking was the first president to take drastic measures kubanga kugamba mu katabo kange kano nti research yange gye nakola akawuka kano balabika abazungu abakakola bakaleetera China
atenga batugamba kava China
anti bo bakazuula
aba China
kubanga akawuka kano okategeerera nti coronavirus ahitinga nnyo economy ne mu Italy yasooka mu economy northern Italy yeri developed wali amakolero kakuba nnyo economy Museveni olwokuba si businessman ye ebisaawe yabiggala naki ye yabiggala kuba is not a businessman. Museveni is a revolutionary ye talimba atekinga gundi bita piru nagiwa omuntu nakola kyobola azaalwana ebyo ne byazaalwana covid manya gundi covid kyavuddamu kuba ebigwa ina abasuma covid yalimu obusuma bino byonna tebyalimu busuma byalina hope nga temuli busuma kati covid yalimu obusuma bungi kyobulaba amuyuuya
zino measures tezikole
kanti nkugamba nti covid yamuyuuya kubanga alimu obusuma covid yalimu obusuma kati olwokuba ekyokubiri this is when I saw the president a hostage kubanga si dokita
Museveni
is a hostage for the first time. Museveni is a hostage for the first time. I've never seen a hostage. Museveni who is a hostage. And it was them. And Museveni attributes. Abantu bali kambwala bajja kunonya ba Musenero. So nkugamba nti kana akawuka nakategeera nti akawuka kakolebwa bukolebwa ne katanyo kate economy. Era nabagamba if the virus was manufactured to destroy the Chinese booming economy, whoever did it used the wrong apparatus to scientific experiment. For a long time, the Chinese have been marauding their people without changing leadership as learned from their founding father, Chairman Mao. They move cautiously and have a high degree of discipline. The Chinese also suffered humiliation from other countries. In 1848, the Anglo-Chinese War of Opium War, which the British won, forced the vanquished Chinese to use opium. The Japanese, on the other hand, did not only slice off a Chinese territory, but went ahead to use them, the Chinese as guinea pigs, to develop their chemical industry. Britain took over Hong Kong under a 100 control government. When the defeated revolutionary forces fled to Taiwan in 1947, successive governments in America poured billions of dollars to sustain Taiwan against China. After World War II, U.S. President made a false prediction about China's move to develop nuclear bombs. One of the American presidents said, if the Chinese embark on developing a nuclear bomb, they would all go naked. The Chinese proved him wrong. In 1972, they developed and tested a nuclear bomb. This development and China membership to the UN Security Council and eroded the influence of Taiwan. Aba China baina discipline. Mumugenda kunyaga yo sente. Aba China baina discipline. Toba sente yabwe nobeerawo. Baina life imprisonment bakona amasasi bakusiba bakumwaluninga ona na Ireland. Temusobola kufuna discipline ya China. Temugisobola mu. Kakati nkugamba. The president had started well. Close the air. Museveni tu tewali mukulembeze wa Afrika. Oba wa munsi. Abayita leka lya lwaki. Prime Minister wa Italy yasale ndongo, this is a Chinese movie. Trump naga this is a Chinese disease. Ngabote bamanyi nti wabwe kajja kujjayo. Naye abazungu bayina ekintu kimu which we have failed to do here. Nti baatunulya ne bagamba nti they had forgotten about health. Abantu bajja omulundi gumu mu malwaliro nga beetaaga ventilators beetaaga ki babirina kati. What did we learn from the first phase?
Kwane Museveni agambyeko nabagamba luli ebitanda bateekewo bingi nga ntunulira ekyeyitale ne ekikoleddwa.
Because we know COVID-19 comes in three phases. What did we learn? Kalolo yatukolera ki?
From the first phase.
Yes, batukolera ki ba Kalolo? What structures did the Minister of Iraba Chaliyo? A change Jali, Diana Jali. Yatuteyo muhanga na kutwalayo gundi. Nze gundi gwe ninamu bwesige Hajat Kawoya tasaga.
Hajat Kawoya Hanifa Bangirana.
Yes, we tasaga tebajja mu humiliating. Diana humiliating buli omu. Ogandika na kazi kakagira.
acheng
nabalwanyisa ne bagenda kamuweza akapapula dani namuwa akapapula mugabe Museveni yamugereko anjogerako ki ayina okufa aba mafia babatiisa
babikola abrupt
anti bali out of touch
twasuze tetwetegese
musenero tamanyi nti waliwo eyalese obusera bwe mu firiji musenero tamanyi nti waliwo eyalese ennyama ye ng'alinda enkya katogo
oli yafumbe omunanansi
out of touch with the population
yasubudde ekisambi ky'ennyama.
These are people who have made the president a hostage. I've never seen a hostage Museveni.
Ali mu buwambe.
Anti bo bakozesa gundi. We must have a group of lawyers. We must have a group of doctors to counter the Museneros who are commercial doctors. Me am not disputing into blood tebuli. Umwabwerita mweka. Kijana balora. Why do you go to Kenya to buy gas when you have a factory here? Oxy gas. Yes.
Gas wali wali.
Oxygen wali. Negundi eno bana bakola amabati bagabana obwerere. Nesi kye baagala. Kakati I was disappointed myself. Ningamba abana bange nti what we have to do is create parliament infu bajiwa sente kiza besi ye bamuwa sente nayogera ebyobusiru kubanga yayagala abantu bayike mu kibuga. You must plan for your people. President Museveni is a peasant of abakopi. Abakopi balese mmere yabwe, abakopi balese ebintu byabwe, abakopi balese ennyama yabwe mu firiji thinking that tomorrow bajja kukola. Why do you punish the bakopi? Already God has punished them over Satan. Naleta COVID and you are punishing. Why should bakopi be punished again? That's Museveni is the president of bakopi. And nabagamba wano nembaga nti mukirinde kijja nabalola
abantu bali stranded
kijja nabalola nabaga nti kijja nabalola nabagamba nti are you interested and interesting in my village? Mafias in Uganda could take advantage of every calamity to reach them services. So coronavirus outbreak as an opportunity to steal money. When President Museveni introduced tough measures like he has done now, the mafias were not threatened. Borders remained open as well as Entebbe International Airport. Sebo President yagamba nti mugambe bamalaya bazukulu banga abo bali megenda mbasajja ne baganda tuguze bad black ayogere ne bamalaya ku milioni 6. Bad black nabo bamalaya bamumanyi bana banonye ekikumi. Olo kayingira kijjana balola nga kijjana balola bakaleta bakaita locust. Akalolo botaka kuwata bulungi. Akalolo
nengo li pessimistic mu nsonga zino Tamale.
Anti the guy in
tolabayo hope
the supporter wa Museveni. Byobufuzi batuga nti the paranoid is survive. Umutiti ya survive ngambyo obufuzi. Kasanda baba no ba Musenero. Nimba tandikira nti nze era mu writing now. Nabagambye nti what we need to do is to go back to parliament. Museveni yajita bajja musaba sent to improve on the heresy act. Ebere mutafu measures binu byayogera. Kugamba the president allowed people, as he has done now, to enter the country on a condition that they would be quarantined for 14 days, but pay for the cost of accommodation and feeding during this period. This became very attractive to the mafia gang, who knew they would influence the authorities to take travelers into their hotels. The mafia looked at isolation quarantine as a source of income, and their simple calculation was $1,400 for every traveler in just 14 days. Secondly, they used their influence and their wide network to get relatives and friends out of isolation centers. More like the cannibals at my village who fed on Mourinho's body and developed the deadly Luyiro. Ewafu wali omukazi mukadde yalwala oluyiro nga bamuyita Mourinho. Naye abasezi bonna baamulya balwala oluyiro. Ne tubategeera nti abo basezi. Like the mafias, like the cannibals who fed on Mourinho's body and developed the deadly Luyiro. The mafias in Uganda underestimated bali oluyiro bali coronavirus oluyiro bali oluyiro. They underestimated the coronavirus. They did not know that by allowing their relatives to violate quarantine, they were taking the coronavirus into their homes. This was not the usual case from which they used to steal billions of money the way they did it during the locust invasion. They were inviting death into their homes and into Uganda. On the other hand, more like the baby monkeys I referred to earlier in my submission, junior immigration officers at the airport allowed travelers to enter the country at a fee, forgetting that they were also putting the lives of their families at risk. By the time the president moved in to close the borders, a lot of damage had been done, and the Ugandans will pay a heavy price for it. Oyo mutani wa Mirundi.
Echo wachyogerako.
Yes. Ndi mumufudde enzige.
Wachiragula.
Yes. COVID si nzige. COVID kakooko.
Kalolo.
COVID kalolo katwale kajje enkoko ku magi. Because there is no government that can fight this kalolo kakooko alone. Is Ebola. Ebola was not as spread as this COVID-19. No. COVID-19 touches the economies of countries. Countries, economy yenyini jikakwatako. Kakati ye president moved in, Kenya tebagala bisawe. But we are buying oxygen from Kenya when we have a company here.
Nebino mukama mutabimanyi.
Anti kakati kankubolize. President Museveni yabadde ayogera nga ku lunaku lwe lumu kuliko sitole yeddagala lye babbi eririe. Ani yagitaddeyo? Why did it wali eddagala lye babbi?
Mulye basanze henasana ne malwalira enjawulo.
Why did it coincide with Museveni's address to the nation? To yabamalira biseera n'eddagala lye bali mu bbako. Kati waliwo gwe baagala okugoba mu ministry. Yeah, you know them. I watched them even this morning. I was watching a meeting. Nemba wereza message nemba gandi kati nabaddemu nange ceasefire nwana na COVID-19 naye nange mundekeremu emirembe. Mbage sijja bogera meeting ya muje mulimu ugabana trillion yesatu eza Museveni njimanyi eri ku Serena nensigenda bogera mwe nabatadde nange family yankati enetaaga. Era nalinganya okudda mu government I can come back. Why? We need now to twetaaga okuba abasajja bana abalinanye Museveni.
Watugamba tolidda mu government.
And nkubulye for a good cause. Wakati Museveni is a hostage. We need to have a balance to counter abasajja bali basente. Kubanga
kati abamufudde hostage n'okomawo tebasobola kwambalira.
Anti abantu baffe bajja kugiyiwa government. Akalolo kajja kujja enkoko ku magi. Why? Nkugambye ti people abali trapped mu Kampala baliweereddwa n'emmotoka z'amagye oba bus za police to go back to the village. Because the way I'm seeing it, the government and the president, they are in a dilemma. They have no solution. The solution is not to get it. Solution butakafuna. Kuba government eyinaawo solution. According to what the president said, I concluded government apart from not kafuna, apart from not contracting COVID-19, government has no solution.
Amufunye yote yinaawo kyezzaako.
Why? Nti when the president says we are expecting drugs from Russia and China, the problem is in Russia and China there are no missionaries. They are not charitable organizations. If they are there, they are not as vibrant as those in Europe. Kakati European charity organization, abalokole babadde n'Abamerika okumala ebbanga ddene, we would get cheap eddagala lyalize ne lyala. The only way of defeating ababbira eddagala abatujjako million 5 buli lunaku is to make the drug available. Allow everybody to bring the drug as long as it has been recognized by get a law that punishes heavily who sells fake drugs. Yes. Kubanga kati bana abasajja bwe kye bakola Museveni tabayinaako gundi. Why? Museveni is paying for his liberalization of the economy.
Yes,
ebya government byafa. Kakati abasajja baba atereka oxygen waabwe. A business bamuhodinga. Yes, bamuhodinga. You can abembale baga nti ekyuma kifudde. Ekyuma kya oxygen kifudde. Why? This is when you are going to go on a strike, you must punish government at a time when you are badly needed. Hey, nti why are we ekyuma kyembale kakati kikutegeeza naffe tulina okufuna ku ki mulago olwafunye na kiri ne kifa kati these are capitalists.
Kakati Tamale amalwaliro nago aba